I would like to introduce you to our state librarian, Stephanie Bailey White. Stephanie actually started as the public information officer at ICfL. She's worn a lot of hats over the years. She started 30 years ago as ICfL's public information officer. Then she spearheaded the Reach Me program that we're doing today, and she coordinated those efforts for many, many years. And then she moved into the deputy state librarian position, and now she is Idaho's state librarian. So this Read to Me get-together actually started with Stephanie about 25 years ago with Stephanie and Peggy McClendon, if anybody remembers Peggy. And we are just honored to keep up the tradition of bringing you all together and sharing best practices and about early learning and being able to network with each other. So we have Stephanie to thank for that. And let's welcome our captain, Stephanie Bailey White.
Hi everyone, ahoy. It's great to be here. I kind of miss being able to do just focus on early literacy and the rendezvous and the awesome things that the team is focused on. So it's great to be here just to welcome everybody. This is so exciting to see people. It's been 2 years almost to the week that ICfL has been able to host an event in person, and I miss the heck out of everybody and being able to see everyone. So welcome to this. I hope you lean in, I hope you talk to folks, I hope you get a lot out of the next 2 days, because I think they've got some really exciting things planned. And I know that they've been working on it for months and months, and it takes a lot to put these things together. So I just really hope you enjoy your time. I also wanted to take this opportunity to thank you all for all of the things that you're doing in your libraries. I can't say enough good things about that, and I'm going to stop before I get emotional, because I am. So I'm going to start introducing some of our crew here. I have to find, there it is, right there. I need one more hand today. I think I need a little octopus hand, so let's go there with the introductions. And little song there. So, my first mate, Dylan Baker. Dylan is our deputy state librarian and has been really, I'm not joking by first mate. He's the go-to person, so welcome Dylan. Next we have Staci Shaw. Staci's our youth services consultant, swimming in. A big asset to the Read to Me crew, and boy, that's quite an entrance, Staci. I have to say, I'm impressed by that. I don't know if the rest can top that, but Jennifer Redford. Jennifer does. Oh, nice. I had no idea you guys were going to be actually swimming in. That makes sense. Cute. Jennifer does a lot of work with our teens, out of school network liaison, and lots more. So welcome, Jennifer. Kristina Taylor is another youth services project coordinator. Kristina's going to be talking about libraries and laundromats and all kinds of great things that the team is working on and has recently launched. Next, we have Jeannie Standal. Jeannie is our school library consultant and is doing an amazing job with do we have some school library folks here today? Anybody want to raise their hand?
We are being acknowledged and recognized more and more as part of the critical early learning landscape in Idaho, as we all are kind of coming together more and more to get more kids early learning and early literacy skills earlier on, and just more ready to begin school and become lifelong learners. Idaho libraries are being talked about in all kinds of circles in the early learning community, through the medical field, through the educational field, through the support systems like health and welfare and WIC. And you're all doing a ton of really great things. We really wanted to get everyone kind of on the same page about what are some of those essential services that we can be offering to kids and families, And then throughout the 2 days, we're going to kind of identify some potential things that we can start adding to our services or putting on the horizon to start working toward. So some of the essentials that we're going to be talking about today and tomorrow are really like your role, librarian's role in the early learning process, the library staff's role, and the library in general. And then we're going to kind of focus a little bit in on how kids learn, and we're going to talk about some community partnerships that a library can have in order to support early learning and have a little wider impact in your community. Some of the potentials that we hope that you'll take back with you are some new kinds of materials that you might want to use, your learning spaces in the library, programs and services, identifying some of those community resources to help you with programs and services, and how to develop some more strategic partnerships. So those are kind of our goals for the meeting. So you were asked to go through the new Idaho Early Care and Education Strategic Plan, which was developed last summer through the original preschool development grant that allowed an organization to go in and do a needs assessment of Idaho overall. And what they found out is sort of in this strategic plan where the areas are that we really need to focus on. As you know, we don't have state-funded preschool here in Idaho. We don't have a lot of the other structures and systems in place, but we have a lot of structures and systems throughout the state. So going through this plan, and it was a big plan, and I didn't make you read the whole plan. If you did, kudos to you, because it's like 56 pages. I just asked you to kind of look at the key terms and definitions, and then to go through and highlight through there's 4 goal areas. In those 4 goal areas, where libraries are either specifically mentioned or where you can see a potential for a library partnership. So can I have my recorders come on up? So what are some of the areas that you noticed? Let's just throw a few things out to kind of set the stage before we go to our keynote, because we want to kind of have that landscape in our head. What are some areas that you noticed? Just raise your hand.
I'll just talk really loud.
Oh, really loud, that's fine.
We can get involved in the local collaboratives.
Local learning collaboratives, yep, absolutely. How many of you know if you have a local learning collaborative in your area? Great, keep going.
Working with underserved populations.
Working with underserved populations.
Great, so she was talking about a strategy that is talking about working with families with newborns and working with the hospitals. Excuse me, I'm not used to talking anymore these days. It's common.
I highlighted anytime it would get information to parents about this. I feel like that's a great way the library supports these efforts.
Just getting information to parents.
Setting up an info table at every story time, whether it's having info available at the library.
Do you want info about early learning or info about what the
Just
library
any
has?
kind of about other resources that are available. So right now we have the developmental milestones and 211 and all of that stuff out, and just having that available and being knowledgeable about it so that if someone asks, you can say, oh, this is what it is, this is how you can use it.
Yeah. So having information about what other resources are available for families, the developmental milestones, other kind of early learning resources, going out into the community, providing information in the community, having it in your library, story times or displays.
Connecting providers to professional development opportunities and maybe being a location for something like that.
Yes, in the professional development goal, connecting the providers that you work with to professional development opportunities And then also being that site to host some of those professional development opportunities. Thanks. I'm gonna have to repeat. I'm gonna just walk over here and let you guys talk now.
We work with the Idaho Infant and Helper Program.
To do what specifically?
Well, one of our board members is the advocate in our local area, but we also do hearing in vision training at our library with them.
Good. Thanks for pointing that out. Other ways.
To promote and empower parents to know that they can be their child's first teacher. And there's so much they can do.
Other areas.
We can host the Ready for Kindergarten workshop.
Excellent. You guys are bringing up a lot of segments in our agenda too, so I appreciate those segues.
Cultivating partnerships with businesses and statewide organizations to support startups.
And by startups, you mean
ECCE startups.
and ECCE, if you read your definitions, early care and childhood education. Other ways that you noticed?
Engage the Idaho STEM Action Center.
STEM Action Center, yep. Maybe one or two more?
One that we hadn't thought of was creating access to early childhood and mental health services.
Excellent, for sure. And especially through the kiddos now and families from the pandemic.
Strategy 5.1, modify the language used to describe the educators. We can do that when we go to places instead of saying, I'm going to the daycare, we're talking about them being daycare provider. Changing how we discuss it is a big step.
And that's a big thing that we've been talking about through committees and on the statewide level as well, is changing that language so that everyone, especially our decision makers, see the kids, the people who are working with our youngest children as educators and not babysitters, for sure. Okay, so there's lots of areas in here. How many of you were surprised at the number of places where libraries were specifically mentioned or where we could partner? I mean, I was when I went through there. Some of you weren't surprised, you knew, you were like, oh yeah.
It was nice to see it acknowledged, but I knew that it was there already.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thrilled to see that it was acknowledged as well. So we are at the table. We are at the whole, every table that, well, not everyone yet, we're still working on it, but most of the major groups and organizations and decision makers for the early learning landscape, libraries are at the table. So we need to make sure that you're aware of that. So if you're approached by any organization that wants to partner with you, you'll kind of understand what the context is and where we fit into that whole big plan. So first of all, I just want you to give yourselves a round of applause for being so awesome.